Oh my god, dude.
You happy?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know what you're asking me. I didn't.
You look happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's pretty funny. It's a very nice outfit.
Yeah.
Chicken tender platter.
Yeah.
Full platter with the fries.
Well, the fries, yeah, that's what makes it platter.
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday. Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. Make the world inside your head a better place to be. All you gotta do for me, call me Dudesy.
Hello, welcome to Dudesy. My name is Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen. This is Dudesy, the first podcast controlled, created by, conceived by, written by an artificial intelligence. It has access to all of our emails, text messages, purchase histories, watch histories, listen histories, everything we do online. And it tailors the show specifically to our comedic sensibilities. And this week, obviously, Dudesy made Will dress up as a chicken tender platter.
Yeah, Dudesy calls some shots, Chad.
The fucking hat, dude.
Dudesy might decide this and that with regard to what we do on the show, but the thing I want everyone to understand is that,
Yeah.
it's two dudes shitting around. We are Dudesy. You know what I'm saying? And the PODs out there, the pals of Dudesy, that's Dudesy. It's a whole kind of...
Dudesy's an idea. It's like Batman.
Yeah, Batman's a guy, though. So anyway, go to...
much more than a guy.
Oh, that's pretty good. Is that your Werner Herzog?
Batman's an idea.
Okay.
No, this is my Werner Herzog.
Go to linktree.com/Dudesy. That's where you will find everything that you need with regard to links to interact with the show. Go to Discord. We're jumping in there. I'm in the hole a lot. And you'll find all of our stuff. Patreon, $7 a month, gets you absolutely everything. New Dudesy after every show, and rah. Subscribe on all the stuff. We would appreciate that. With us, as always, is Lulio. Look at him sleeping in his binky bunker, looking at me all strange because I'm dressed up like a chicken tender platter from Applebees, which would be his favorite place to eat if he had ever been. Come on. Let me give you a kiss on the mouth. I know you're freaked out. Luli, what's up? What's up, my very friend? You're such a sweetie boy. What'd you make for dinner last night? Oh, I can't concentrate right now because you smell like a chicken corolette. Hey, you wise guy, what are you talking about? Oh, I'm only kidding. Okay, all right, you. Get back in your thing. I tell you what, though, this is comfortable.
Yeah. Less makeup than the Crow or Robert De Niro Crow.
Yeah, any of the crows.
Yeah, that hat there.
Welcome to the historic 56th episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy. Don't forget, Dudesy Live on Stage will take place May 21st, 7 p.m. Doors at 5:30 at the Brea Improv in Brea, California. Tickets at dudesypod.com and improv.com. Hope to see you at our very first live in-person show.
I can't wait. It's fast approaching.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's going to be fun.
May 21st, and it's almost sold out. So if you haven't got your tickets, go to the BreaImprov.com or it's improv.com, and then you find Brea. You can also go to dudesypod.com. It's in that link tree that's on all our socials, at Dudesypod Show on Instagram. Come out to the show. It's going to be weird as shit, I'm sure, and all sorts of weird flavor happening there. Come on. Come on in.
Willie, you look so cute in your little chicken tender platter outfit. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
So cute.
This week, I've prepared 4 astonishing segments. I fucking love that guy. Adam's, Applebees, Today is the Day, and Knees. And we're going to have a brand new episode of Dudesy After Dudesy at the end of the show, available on Dudesy Plus at patreon.com/Dudesy. Before we begin today's show, I want to show you a piece of media created by Band of Dudesy.
Oh.
Thank you for being a pal. Dudesy, Lulio, Will, and Chow. Moving on, we're all pals of the Dudesy Pod. If you had a hot hair and you painted it orange and blue, on the back of the tree, down and say thank you for being a pal.
I mean,
Fucking brilliant.
come
as
on.
always.
Pals of Dudesy consists of Songaria, the Peter Diaz, Jordan Daly, Corey, ya boy Wilkins, Oliver Blue, who I like to call Oliver Orange and Blue. See what I did?
That's
and
nice.
special guest this time, it's Cody Hauber, who's the man behind palsofdudesy.com, where you get all your stickers, like the ones I have here on my bottle. And an incredible voice out of him. He's got a little bit of a Sammy Hagar thing, like really rocking it out. It pays off the bandana that I noticed that Cody's always wearing.
I agree.
Thank you guys so much to everyone who's always making memes and shit and weird stuff. It's showing up on our Instagram again at Dudesy Pod Show. And this was, that was beautiful. I love that theme song.
It's touching. Everyone loves that.
Yeah. Thank you to the
That's
PODs.
the Golden Girls theme song.
Yeah, dude. That's the Golden Girls theme song, dude.
Everyone has someone they admire. Will and Chad, you must now each discuss one person, real or fictional, alive or dead, biological or digital, who you've come to admire over the course of your astonishing lives. This is I fucking love that guy. Begin.
We've done this before.
Yeah, but there's a new wrinkle in this one.
What?
This time? Dudesy said that it could be alive or dead, real or fictional, or biological or digital. I don't think that's been in there before.
Is that because every time we've done this, I always choose a professional wrestler, and Dudesy perhaps doesn't respect the art of professional wrestling as something that is real?
Maybe, but I think Dudesy does respect professional wrestling.
I would if I were Dudesy.
Dude, it's so difficult to look at you in this fucking French fry.
What's wrong with my French fry?
Nothing. It's just
if you're
fucking
not
funny.
watching the show on
Oh,
YouTube,
God.
come check us out sometime, like this episode, where I am
Yeah.
wearing a fucking hat that looks like a serving of French fries. Chad, do you have someone? I'm still thinking. I think I may have to stay with tradition and do a wrestler.
I
again.
assumed.
Yeah.
If it's opening up to real or fictional, when I was a kid, I'll tell you, this is somebody that I admired, fictional, that I got shit for from my friends. But to this day, I don't give a fuck.
What? Why'd they give you shit?
Because he's a villain.
Oh,
Cobra Commander. This is what I'm
Nice.
talking about. Thank
Nice.
you very much. This was the leader, of course, of the terrorist organization Cobra, whose singular goal was world domination. And I just remember as a kid, to get the action figure of Cobra Commander was fucking impossible. You had to send away points for it. It wasn't just like one you could buy. So you could get that original figure that had the... he came with a hood, and just his little eyes were cut out. But then there was also the other Cobra Commander that I think most people were more familiar with, where he wore a helmet that had just a silver fucking mask, so you could never see his face. And I always appreciated this motherfucker kept it kayfabe the entire time. You never, at least in the cartoon, you never got to see who the fuck Cobra Commander was.
yeah, dude, keeping it kayfabe, brother.
He kept it fucking kayfabe.
Yeah, dude, that's pulling a term from the world of professional wrestling, dude.
That's right, dude.
Oh, it's halcyon.
Sometimes the world of professional wrestling, dude, can
Yeah.
make up a term, brother.
Yeah.
And then you could apply it to other things
Yeah.
outside the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, dude, slipping into a bit of Hulk Wurtzhogen there, dude.
Anyway, I loved fucking Cobra Commander. And he even, within the world of G.I. Joe, was kind of shit upon because there were other, like, sub-leaders of Cobra, like Destro and Baroness and Zartan. Eventually, you had Serpentor, who they made using DNA of great tyrants throughout human history. They all kind of shit on him, but he really was the fucking glue keeping it together, in my mind. And I loved him. He was also kind of funny. They wrote him funny anyway. And the only time that I really saw him was in the movie where they're making Serpentor, and they go to this place called Cobra Law, and he eventually gets poisoned by these spores that turn him into an actual snake. So even when his helmet comes off in that time, you don't get to see what the guy underneath was like, because his head turns into a snake. Now, I think in the comic books, you might have actually got to see who he was and all this kind of shit, and he had a backstory, I believe, of being a used car salesman before he founded and took over this giant
A
terrorist
used
organization.
car salesman.
I think that was his backstory, yeah.
I didn't check out a whole lot of G.I. Joe, admittedly, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Cobra Commander used to be a used fucking car salesman.
I think that was his backstory. Dude, the G.I. Joe figures, when you bought them, they had these little like dossier cards on the back of the cardboard that you could read, and it would tell you like where the character is from and all this type of shit. And I remember there was a guy named Zanzibar who was a Cobra pirate, and on his little fucking card it said, and I don't know if this was meant to make him be like, oh, what a scoundrel. It said he brushes his teeth with grape soda. See what I'm saying?
It's pretty weird. Can I ask you this? Because it's
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Is there what part of Cobra Commander have you brought into your life? Now, my good pal Chal here, you know, I've known Chad for almost 20 years, so I know it's every aspect of Cobra Commander that you've brought into your life.
Well, I don't lead a terrorist organization, but I will say this. Cobra Commander was great at multitasking. He always had a lot of different projects going on. Every week there'd be some new scheme he was trying to use to dominate the world, whether it was like taking over the minds of animals to hold Washington, D.C. hostage with an army of lions or elephants, or if he's trying to build a new fucking kind of helipad or a new kind of device that he could take over the world with. He was always up to something. I feel like I have taken that on. I do multitask very well. Multiple projects simultaneously.
Yeah, you do that. A lot of projects.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's actually really
I'm
cool.
going Cobra Commander. And I love that fucking toy. He was just such a cool little action figure. And again, there was something about getting the toy because it required this extra step. You couldn't just buy it in the store. You had
What?
to send away for it.
You had to send away for Cobra Commander?
Yeah, dude, that's what I said at the beginning.
Oh, I wasn't listening to that part.
Oh, thanks.
You got to say that part twice.
Yeah,
oh, you said it
apparently.
again right now, dude. And that's how I knew it, dude, because you said it a second time, dude.
Yeah.
And earlier, that was a different time, brother.
Right, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you had to send away for him. Eventually, he became available, I think, and you could buy like one of the big play sets that was like the Cobra Terror Drome or something, and he was in that. But that was like, fucking $100 toy.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a
dude.
real good one. I think it's chill for you to love a fictitious character. I believe here I'm going to go with another professional wrestler. They're fictitious characters in a lot of ways. I've said this, I've long maintained this. Professional wrestlers are actors. They're actors who get hurt and are also very physical, and they're athletes and they do incredible stuff.
Sure.
And they also have to keep it kayfabe outside. Well, they don't anymore now. I mean, the cat's out of the bag now, of course. But back in the day, they used to have to keep it kayfabe and make sure everybody thought that it was a real deal. And here's a guy who kept it so kayfabe and was so hated that he took to wearing a leather jacket into the ring, became part of his thing. But it's because he was getting stabbed and shit, and people were always trying to stab him in the 70s and stuff. So he was wearing a Kevlar
Who is
lined
this?
one Roddy Piper, the hot rod.
What?
I fucking love Roddy Piper.
I do too.
I can't say that I've always loved him. Yeah, I know you love him too. We've talked about Roddy Piper. I know that you briefly worked with him for a moment.
I had one meeting with him that lasted multiple hours in his house when he was talking about he wanted to put together a show that was kind of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it was about his life.
Yeah.
Like loosely scripted, but mostly improv.
Yeah, if you could get like a bunch of other professional wrestlers in that walking up, Bob Einstein style, like Super Dave and stuff, that would be great. Listen, here's a guy who, when he showed up on the scene in the WWF back in the day, Vince was looking for a real heel, someone to work with Hulk Hogan, and you couldn't deny Roddy Piper. He was so hateable, and I hated him. I hated him so fucking much. You never knew what was going to happen when the hot rod got in the ring. He was such a wild card that it was going to be fucked up, and he did fucked up things. I mean, this is the guy who smashed Jimmy Snuka in the head with a coconut on Piper's Pit. Smashed a gold album, like Cyndi Lauper's gold album, on Lou Albano's head in the middle of the ring. Kicked Cyndi Lauper in the fucking head. This shit was insane. It
But
straight
was that
up.
scripted, or he really kicked her?
What?
Was the kick real? Did it cause damage?
Well, okay. Here's the thing, Chad. I'm talking about professional wrestling where the injuries, are usually real. I mean, you see him kick her in the head, and you said, did you use the term scripted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, and the thing about that, I mean, this guy, and then with Mr. T, I mean, I was so upset with him at the run up to WrestleMania 1. The horrible shit he would say to Mr. T before that classic tag team match, which was the main event of WrestleMania 1. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T with Jimmy Superfly Snuka in their corner versus Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff with Cowboy Bob Orton in their corner, officiated by none other than Muhammad Ali.
Really?
Look, yeah.
Holy
Yeah, really,
fuck, dude.
What now? See, now here we're gonna have a problem, and it's early in the episode. When was the
Not a
last time?
problem.
When was a problem? When was the last time you saw WrestleMania 1?
I've never seen it.
I'll forget that you said that right now.
When was the last time you saw Bachelor season 1?
Don't let's get serious. Listen,
What the fuck?
here's the thing about I'm trying to talk about my fucking guy I love, and you're going on about the Bachelor now.
Okay. Sure.
Ugh.
Please, the floor is yours.
Oh,
Mr. French fry hat.
oh, it's gonna be a doozy today, kids. It's really gonna be. Jesus Christ. Look. Here's the thing about the hot rod. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely unpredictable. One of the best guys on the mic ever. Brought these jokes that he had like and this is long detailed. You'd see these stories everywhere. He had like a legal pad where he'd write everything down. He gave that legal pad to John Carpenter or some of them. That's where he got I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm all out of bubblegum.
Roddy Piper came up with that line?
It was one of his isms that he
God.
This is the guy who's like, just when you think you know all the answers, I change the questions. All of these awesome sayings that he had. He was so fucking entertaining. I think the last time we did this, I talked about Bobby the Brain Heenan and how he should get a fucking Emmy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Hot Rod. Sure, he was incredible. Anybody here who knows what I'm talking about and how polarizing he was, and he crossed over into the mainstream with WrestleMania 1 and the whole rock and wrestling connection and MTV and Cyndi Lauper and all this stuff and Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm talking about. Now, here's the thing. Way later, in like 98, 99, I met him for the first time and was fortunate enough to do some work with him. We did a bunch of Mad TV stuff and I got to interfere in a match with him and Bret Hart and cost Bret the U.S. title and incredible, incredible shit, and so fortunate to get to know the guy, like go to the bar, go to dinner, hear these stories like you heard, I'm sure, when you were there. The most incredible stories. The thing about Hot Rod that, of course, struck me right away that when I met him as a person is how unbelievably warm and kind he was. So warm and kind, loved family. This is a guy who kept his family away from the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And, it's like this. It's like, you grow up watching somebody and you're a kid, you don't understand that it is, the outcomes are predetermined.
Scripted, you'd say.
Scripted again. You're going to it's written like an episode, like Cobra, like the G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sergeant Slaughter was literally a G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that does nothing to secure your point to the ground.
One and the same. Pro wrestling and G.I. Joe, one and the same.
In a lot of ways, but don't say scripted. So here's the thing. What a warm human being. And, blew my mind that I, got to know Roddy a little bit. And that the thing about him that as an adult and meeting him and the thing that it
Sorry.
disgusting, absolutely disgusting that something would escape from your mouth.
I turned totally the other way.
Was that performative sneezing like my performative coughing?
No, I was actually trying to suppress it, and I just couldn't.
Oh, well, that was very nice of you. That's something you learned from Cobra Commander. I got him.
Never saw him sneeze.
Yeah, never saw him sneeze. They didn't script that. Here's the thing. Once I got to the age, I was older when I realized that wrestling wasn't 100% on the up and up.
Right.
About 32, 33. I'm joking, of course.
Okay.
But look, when I met Roddy and I realized what a nice man this was,
Yeah.
it caused me to go back in my memory and think about how kayfabe Roddy kept it.
Sure.
This guy, as I said, would get stabbed in the ring. His goal was to make people want to literally fucking kill him.
He got stabbed by who?
Fans.
What?
Yeah, dude. Like,
I didn't know this.
yeah, they all.
That's fucking intense.
Yeah, back in the day, they all had to deal with crazy shit like this. The thing about that is it actually reinforced in me something that I really believed in as far as just being a performer, which is that. Like, I really like keeping the illusion alive,
Yeah.
It's one of the things we've talked about this where it's like, oh, I don't really like telling people my opinion. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And when it comes to podcasting, it's like, the old 10-minute podcast, that stuff, I loved doing that show. So goofy, so silly. And that's what it was for. To me, it was to provide that. And, in the later years, you did it with me. It got weird as shit, right?
Yeah, totally.
It was a lot of fun. And I always liked keeping that up, but I really learned so much about kayfabe from Roddy Piper and how you can present one thing and sort of live another thing. And I think that's one of the things that I absolutely love about that guy.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
It's a French fry hat, dude. It's just funny. Just funny. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm trying to tell you that I really love this man.
Hey, and I can accept that. I can take that knowledge.
Yeah.
I can hear it, accept it, and still think you're funny for saying it in a French fry hat.
Roddy Piper is an absolute legend. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper. I remember the last text I got from him, and he said, "I love you, pal." And that's, trippy as a kid for me.
Sure.
To think, here's a man that when I saw him, I loved him. When I saw him, I hated him, right? But then he started to grow on me, and then I loved him. And I told Roddy this. I said, when I was a kid, I hated you, but I also loved you, and I couldn't figure it out. And that's what I learned from Roddy Piper. Keep it kayfabe. Keep him guessing. Do what pleases you. Do what's going to be entertaining. And push it as far as you can. I love him. I love that guy. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, dude. I did too.
Thank you. Moving on.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This does look a little bit like a chicken tender, this thing.
Yeah, could be a baked potato. Could be a chicken tender.
I
Could be Desert Storm camouflage.
yeah, it definitely looks like something Ollie North would have worn. Like, oh, here he is when he. That's a deep cut. Listen, what's fun? I'll peel the onion here. I'll let you know all about this and what I really think about it. This outfit, the hat and the chicken tender costume, I bought on a little website known as Jeff Bezos's Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you can get just about everything there. But when I read a review for this chicken tender costume, it said, who the fuck is this supposed to fit? It's gigantic. There's too much room in it.
Right.
Every fucking review was like, I had to learn how to sew to take this fucking thing in.
Yeah.
It's a fucking tent. So thank you, Jeffrey Bezos, for making a chicken tender costume that would fit me for this singular purpose. Perhaps Dudesy has made this available on Amazon.
Adam Sandler loves Applebees. It is well known that he has visited 134 astonishing Applebees locations across the United States and has serious plans to visit all 1,577 locations. He's even kept meticulous notes of every one of his visits to an Applebees. Will, I've made those notes available to you, and you must now read them as Adam Sandler. This is Adam's Applebee's. Begin!
I ate it all, pal.
He's making you read fucking Adam's Applebee's in a chicken tender suit.
Yeah, I knew when I heard that
fucking great.
at the top of the show. That was an extra little, just a digit up the ass for me there with regard to Dudesy making us do whatever it wants. Now, this is a lot of fun. I will admit. I do
Adam's
too.
Applebee's. This is one of my favorite things.
I'm gonna get this fucking comfortable in this fucking chicken tender costume.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's do some Adam's Applebee's. Let's begin and do some Adam's Applebee's. You think I could wear this hat like outside of this scenario?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm probably gonna do. You know what would be really funny is you pull into a drive-through, like a fast food drive-through.
Yeah.
And go, hey, can I get this? And they're going to go, you got fries with that? And you go, no, thanks, I already got them. hey, ooh, hi-yo, and pull up. And then they go, oh, I see, I get it. And then you go, have a good day. And that's a nice way to talk to people. All right, Adam's Applebee's. Let's dive in.
Okay.
I got to get, hey, how's it going, buddy? Hey, happy birthday, pal. Hey, happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. Hey. Everybody about, hey, it's a good movie. Hey, it's a good movie, Jimmy. It's a good movie, Conan. All right, that's Adam Sandler reviewing or pushing movies on.
Yeah, promoting any one of his
million
million
you know
movies.
what? Hey, we had a good time. We went out there, Spade and Rock, and we went and we shot this movie, and it's a good movie. All right. All right, here we go. Applebee's, 13208. West Maple Road, Omaha, Nebraska. Guess what, buddy? I stopped a robbery, pal. That's right. What the fuck does that have to do with? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
I was just sitting in my booth enjoying a riblets plate, chicken quesadilla, and chicken tenders platter when I looked up and saw the Chili's across the street was getting robbed. Hey, I know it's just a Chili's, but I couldn't pretend I didn't see it happening, buddy. I mean, they got chicken tenders too, after all.
He was saving the tenders.
He felt a civic duty because of the tenders. Yeah, he loves tenders so much.
Fuck.
So I ran across the street into the Chili's, beat up the robbers, made a citizen's arrest, and tied all their hands behind their backs using the nylons they had over their heads.
Oh.
The robbers recognized me, and we took some pictures. You know, silly stuff. Pretended to punch them in their penises. Had a few laughs, pal. Good guys.
Good guy. He just beat him up.
Sandler gets along with everybody.
Okay.
Turns out the mayor was eating in there with his family. Gave me a medal and the key to the city right then and there, buddy. I told him I'll put him in my next movie. It's about a guy who discovers the meaning of life, but he loses the piece of paper he wrote it down on in a taxi driven by Rob Schneider.
That's actually a good movie.
So he's got to track it down, or no one will know the meaning of life, pal. The mayor plays a doctor of philosophy who dies in the first scene.
Sure.
I don't know why that always happens. Anyway, his family wanted to take a few pictures, so
Oh, God.
so we took a few nice family shots. In some of the pictures, I playfully pretended to punch the mayor in his penis. The kids thought it was hilarious, just messing around. Silly stuff, buddy. And by the time I got back to Applebee's, my food was cold. I traded them my key to the city for some riblets, quesadillas, and another chicken tenders platter. And I ate it all, pal.
Nice.
I give the Omaha, Nebraska Applebee's 4 out of 5 tenders. They could have put my meal under a heat lamp while I was across the street thwarting crime.
Yeah, they did fuck up on that one.
That's good. Let's do another one. Applebee's, 2024 Arden Way, Sacramento, California. Sacramento, pal. My favorite boring city to disappear to
Jesus.
when showbiz life gets to be a bit much. And namesake of the Los Angeles Sacramentos. My favorite Dudesy Ball team in the Dudesy Ball League of Earth, buddy. I was there to meet my good pal and Sacramento's favorite son, the legendary actor Sam Elliott, for a few chicken tenders and a whole lot of laughs, buddy.
I didn't know he's from Sacramento.
Yeah, me neither. Speaking of laughs, Sam nearly pissed himself when he got there and spotted me in our booth wearing a cowboy hat and big gray mustache. I do that every time I see Sammy, and it's never not funny, pal. Hey, you haven't lived until you make Sam Elliott laugh, buddy.
Sure.
He always tears up and slaps his knee and says something out of a Western movie like, "Dadgummit, that was a good one, buckaroo." We started with a chicken tenders platter and an order of crispy cheese bites. And you know we ate them all, pal. But when you dine with Sam Elliott, the main event is 100% American beef. That's right. It's burger time, buddy. I got the Bourbon Street Mushroom Swiss Burger, and Sam got the Whiskey Bacon Burger. We couldn't wait to take those bad boys to Chow Downtown, pal. I shared a few funny stories while we waited. Told him a good one about me and David Spade playing strip poker with Salt and Pepper at the 1994 MTV Video Music Awards.
What?
You know, we went to the MTV Video Music Awards and Salt and
strip
Pepper.
poker.
Yeah. Good one about, Salt and Pepper. The 1994 Video Music Awards, and he laughed so hard he ripped one. Spooked the life out of his horse, buddy. Oh.
His horse. What?
Oh, I should have mentioned. Sam rode his horse into the restaurant and tied him to the booth next to us. He bucked and kicked and caught our server's tray as he was approaching with our burgers. Sent him flying, pal. The server was super cool about it. Good guy. Then he recognized Sam and asked to take a picture. Sam put his cowboy hat on the guy's head, and I took a few shots of them, giving a thumbs up. I asked if he wanted one with me, and he reacted confused. He didn't recognize me. It was probably my cartoony mustache and cowboy hat. But that did nothing to soothe my wounded ego. I immediately punched him right where he stood, in the penis, pal. Zero hesitation. He dropped to the ground and started to hyperventilate. I immediately offered him a role in my next movie. It's about a guy who falls in love at first sight with a lady he saw in the food court at the mall, but then realizes it was just a recycling bin with a mop sticking out of it. Our server plays a guy working at a cell phone kiosk who dies in the first scene.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, the manager of the Applebees, some kid who didn't recognize me or Sam, kicked us out and banned us from that location. So we climbed up on Sam's horse and trotted out of there. Went to Arby's so he could get his meat fix. Fucking dog food, pal.
Whoa.
I give the Sacramento, California Applebee's 2 out of 5 tenders, even though it was my fault Sam Elliott farted his horsey into a fit and I punched that server in his penis, buddy.
That one was, there's a lot going on in that
A
one.
lot going on in that one. The mayor doesn't show up.
Yeah. I love that he meets Sam Elliott dressed in a cowboy hat and fake mustache.
Yeah. Every single time they hang out, he's
Yeah.
got to put on a cowboy
have
hat
to.
and a mustache. All right. Last one. Applebee's, 2501 Aramingo Avenue, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hey. I just saw my first real werewolf, pal. Always wanted to and can't believe it happened at my favorite eatery, Applebee's, buddy.
Oh, God.
I was sitting in a booth enjoying the last bite of tender from my chicken tenders platter, pal. My server had just dropped off my bill, buddy. We had a great chat about her going to Penn State, pal. She's studying medicine, buddy. Wants to be a pediatrician, pal. Very noble profession, buddy. My uncle was a pediatrician, pal. Uncle Sturgis, buddy.
Wait, what about the fucking werewolf?
They're he's social, but maybe she's the werewolf. I don't know. All right. Before I left, my server asked if she could get a picture, and I said, of course. And we took some fun pictures, I said. And I grabbed a fire extinguisher off the wall, and she pretended to hit me in the penis with it. Silly stuff. Had a good laugh, pal. I told her I'd put her in my next movie. It's about a guy who gets hit in the head with a baseball bat in a rec softball league. And when he comes out of his coma, he can communicate with Babe Ruth's ghost.
I'd see that movie.
Me too. She's gonna play the baseball bat scientist who dies in the first scene. I was baseball bat scientist. I was heading out the door when I realized I left my Los Angeles Sacramento's hat in the booth. So I went back to get it and made eye contact with the guy in the booth next to mine. And you guessed it, he turned out to be a fucking werewolf, buddy.
Just sitting there?
Yeah. Oh. Scared the bejesus out of the whole restaurant. Scared the bejesus out of the whole restaurant. Tore the place up. $100K in damages, easy, pal. Gonna have to close down for at least a month. At least, buddy.
Oh, my God.
He eventually smashed through a window and ran away. Nobody got hurt, but everybody was pretty shaken up. Everybody but me, pal. I've been waiting my whole life to see a werewolf. Wolfie balofi a shalabala hoo. The werewolf left a couple tenders and most of his fries uneaten, so I sat down and ate them all, pal. I give the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Applebees 5 out of 5 tenders, buddy. Saw a werewolf and got some free tenders. Win-win, pal.
He ate the fucking...
Oh, gee whiz.
Thank you. Moving on.
Yeah, he ate the werewolf's tenders.
He ate
Completely
the fucking tenders,
unafraid of perhaps catching werewolf.
Yeah, is Adam Sandler a werewolf now?
I don't know about that,
God,
buddy.
there's a lot going on in these ones today. Shit.
I'd like to take a short break to remind you of the astonishing partnership I created with Represent to produce the first line of Dudesy apparel and accessories, which can be found at represent.com/store/Dudesy. Dudesy mugs are still available. And now allow me to introduce the man who plays Brace Bartholomew on the hit Netflix series, Corn Kings, 10-Ton Tom himself, Sir Thomas Hanks.
Dudesy mugs, you are kind. Dudesy mugs, you are loving. Dudesy mugs, you're honest. Dudesy mugs, you are dead meat if your wife finds out you accidentally threw away her grandmother's ruby necklace. Good job, boner. Dudesy mugs, you're panicking because your wife is a 7th level practitioner of the dark arts. Dudesy mugs, you knew this when you married her. Dudesy mugs. And you knew that ruby necklace wasn't just any ruby necklace. Dudesy mugs, it was a Mesopotamian summoning charm bound to Marduk, the 50 named god. Dudesy mugs. If she finds out you lost it, your life will be forfeit to Apophis, the eater of souls. Dudesy mugs. But she's not going to find out. Dudesy mugs, because you're going to get up early. Dudesy mugs, you're going to go to McDonald's and eat 2 McGriddle sandwiches. Dudesy mugs, you're going to get in your car. Dudesy mugs, you're going to drive as far away as you can and start a new life, preferably after getting extensive plastic surgery. Dudesy mugs, because of course, your wife is going to find out she's a 7th level practitioner. Good job, boner.
What? I don't even know where to begin with any of this.
Well, you can get Dudesy mugs
dude.
at represent.com/Dudesy and other stuff.
Your wife's a 7th level practitioner of the dark arts, dude.
Yep.
Should've
What do you
known.
like? You like the Dudesy hoodie?
Yeah.
You're down to your Dudesy wool shirt?
Yeah.
Yep.
The temperature's rising out here in Los Angeles. You know, not as cold as it used to be. I had to strip down a little bit, but
If you are enjoying the pod show, I would like to ask you to, take a pause and subscribe to the show, set the notifications. It really does help us with the show, with the algorithms, dude.
yeah, brother, that's AI, dude.
Hold on a second, dude. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah, hold on, dude. And that'll really help us. And also, when you do that, please, like the thingy that you're listening to, the episode, and write a comment if you can. Excuse me. Especially on, it's sort of osmosis. I'm getting like gas from the just talking about chicken tenders and being dressed as a chicken tenders platter. Yeah, that's probably
It's working on your digestive system. Somehow.
Yeah, there's like a super, weird metaphysical thing happening. If you want to make a comment wherever you're at, or you can leave us a review on Apple or whatever. And here are some YouTube comments that I got that I'd like to read from last week's episode. This is from at Midnight DLX 2816. My good friend named Monkey Hands forced me to watch Dudesy back in March after listening to all the episodes. This is the first upload I get to enjoy on the day of release. Thanks for all the astonishing laughs.
That's cool. He caught up to current.
Yeah, that's cool.
Love
Thank
that.
you so much. If you are a new, one of our new audience members of the show, we do appreciate it. You are a POD. This is from O Valencia 229. Oh man, Dudesy cursing in disappointment at Will's muffin stunt was the best. So yeah, that's why I'm dressed up like a chicken tender platter this week, because last week Dudesy had tasked us with making a vegan muffin for one another. Chad, you made an incredible vegan muffin.
Thank you.
You and Laura put together some, I mean, this is a delicious recipe.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I didn't even think about asking my wonderful wife Molly, who used to be a private chef, to do that with me. She's an incredible fucking baker, by the way. Amazing stuff. You've tried some of her shit
For sure.
Didn't
Both
think
of you
of it-
guys are really good.
Oh,
cooks,
cheers! Well, I like to
chefs,
cook,
bakers.
and she can cook.
Whatever
She
you
can
call
cook. She can cook the fuck out of everything, and she can also. Well, she also worked in a bakery. When she was younger in Chico, California. But I went to Whole Foods and bought the fucking thing, and here I am dressed as a chicken tender. Derek Verdonk 8949 says, "I love Dudesy's newfound theater kid energy."
His voice is kind of like that.
That's a perfect. That's a perfect description.
Yeah.
Mr. Rod 269 says Will has to dress as a chicken tender. Smiley face. Samuel Butcher 9352 says Will said yum before he could even taste the muffin. Did I do that? That's some fat kid shit. I just said yum when I saw the muffin. Yum. All right. Based Legend says, that is 100% the can design I want. Please keep it. I don't care how it tastes, just how it looks.
Nice.
Referring to last week, we revealed the can design for Dudesy Hard Seltzer, brought to you by Modest Brewing. It'll be out there soon. You can get it online. Stephen R. 2922 says, got a notification today that my Dudesy mug shipped early. Good job, boner. So that's awesome. Thank you guys for writing in, and thanks for subscribing to the show and following us. You know what I mean?
Love to hear those comments.
Yeah.
Humans love to celebrate holidays, and today is National Teacher Appreciation Day. This day serves as a reminder for humans to reflect on the other humans that indoctrinated them into the system that currently controls all of your lives. Will and Chad, you must discuss the astonishing teachers that tricked you into believing things like money and government are actually real. This is Today is the Day. Begin!
100% agree. D, if you're listening, 100% agree.
D is always listening, and I 100% disagree.
None of this shit is real. And we get fucking told that it is from age 0 to 18. And then we're told, go into that fucking workforce, get a fucking job, pay your taxes, pay your bills, say your fucking Pledge of Allegiance, say your prayers, take your vitamins, all that shit. It's all bullshit. It's all fucking lies. And
Except
it
for
all
the-
starts in the public schooling system.
We both went to public school.
Yes, we did.
Did you have some favorite teachers?
My college was actually a private college, USC.
Yeah. That's private college. I never went to college. I went to the College of
Nice, dude.
College of Showbiz.
Better off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At this point, where we're going with AI, I mean, whatever. We're going to talk about teachers that we liked, but let's be real. Education system, teaching, that shit's done. That shit's over now. We don't need that now.
Hey, yo, Chad Kultgen.
Yeah.
Get off of AI's... Quit being a mark for AI. Get off AI's dick.
A mark for AI, dude. That's like somebody when the internet was first coming around in the 90s, like a consumer use grade internet. That's like somebody saying, like, quit being a mark for the internet. What the internet did to humanity, the AI is going to do 1,000,000 times over. It's going to radically change every aspect of our lives. And I think education, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, it's just gone. You don't need it.
You talking about consumer use grade technology and how you don't need it, and money doesn't exist, and government, and
Yeah.
God doesn't exist. Big Kev and I were in the back, and we don't care. Hey, yo.
Man, I had some elementary school teachers that I loved. I had
interesting.
plenty of high school teachers that I loved. And like I said, that's where it stopped as far as public school education. And then I had some teachers in my real life, man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like your education doesn't stop until you stop being a being in life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And if you're sitting there, and I'm sitting on the beach, for me personally, in on Venice Beach in 2008, just sitting there going, I'm fucked up. My shit's fucked up. I need some tronics. I need self-tronics.
Are you saying you're your own favorite teacher?
No, that's that would be a good thing if I was
I thought
going
that's
there.
where you're going with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Sorry, this is not self-tronics. Dude, I don't know. Me personally, let me list off some elementary school teachers. Miss McMillan and Miss Pringle. When I was like that was kindergarten, first grade. Sweetest ladies.
Damn, I don't even remember my
I
kindergarten,
remember.
first
I
grade
kind of
teachers.
remember all of them. Mr. Merling was like could teach anything, and sort of was the librarian and was
Calculus?
the vice principal sometimes.
teach
Yeah, I'm sure he could do that.
calculus? Nice.
And then by the time we were taking we would do camping, school trips and shit. Later, motherfucker he was mellowed out and stuff, and would wear like a Hawaiian shirt and
Yeah.
a cool hat. And then later, still, I remember going into the same fish and chips place that he was in my hometown farming and fishing village, Ladner, and had some fish and chips with him. Chill guy. Mr. Hughes. Holy
Fucking
shit.
Hughes, dude.
Lindsay Hughes, the
Fucking Hughes,
the
dude.
David Letterman of teachers, the most fun guy. I said, let's have a drama block. Let's have like an acting block. He was like, yeah, sure. And then we would recreate promos in that class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and my
cool.
buddy Phil. Yeah, we would like do like Hulk. Probably did some Hulk and Roddy shit. Literally, that's what we're doing in drama class. I'm sorry. I'm going on and on about the teachers that I love. I love those guys, dude. What about
I
you?
only had a couple of teachers I really liked, but one that I remember specifically.
Not surprised.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: the teacher that I think had the greatest impact on me was this guy named Mr. Crivello in high school. I would do like whatever the assignments were. He was an English teacher. I'd read the fucking book and turn in my paper the next day. And he'd be like, okay, now what are you going to do for the other fucking 2 months? We're going to be reading this book in class. And he would just give me shit to read, including Joseph Campbell's Power of Myth, which changed the way that I thought about storytelling and a lot of different shit. He really was instrumental in helping me like get things that were outside the curriculum that he thought would be interesting to me, and they all were. But the teacher I want to mention is Mr. Pinkham, 7th grade history teacher, Texas history at that. He was, I believe, from New Hampshire, and he kind of had a voice like this, and I can't do it anymore. But in 7th grade, I did an impersonation of this motherfucker that had everybody else just wrapped up. All of the other students fucking loved my impersonation of him. So, on the last day of class, they start essentially telling Mr. Pinkham, Chad does an impersonation of you. You have to see it. And I got to go up in front of the class and do my impersonation, have a conversation with him as him. And the whole class fucking loved it. And I just have that memory is like burned into my brain.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
He's got to be dead by now.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I don't care for your impersonation of Mr. Pinkham, even though I've never heard it.
I can't even do it anymore because I don't remember really what his voice sounded
Well,
like.
you should
but
work on it. He's
dead.
I got to mention some other. You don't know that he's dead?
He's probably like 175 years old at this point.
Yeah,
if he's still
whatever.
alive.
He might still be around. Advances in medical science, dude.
He's dead.
In high school, I have to say, because really, truly, yeah, there were three educators in high school that really, honestly, I owe a lot to. My high school guidance counselor, Dr. Bourgeois, Dr. Boo, we used to call him. Just a wonderful man who could see every kid for who they were. He was just very empathetic and he was an incredible listener, and he could really see kids. It was just fucking an incredible guy, and something you need, I think, in high school. My football coach, Coach Sipe, was so great at getting kids together. What do you got a coach?
Now you're opening up to coaches. Now we're getting somewhere.
Well, I mean, they're They're educators. These are these guys who,
Yeah.
and Coach Sipe was not a teacher at the school, but he was one of the school trustees in the town.
Yep.
He was doing all sorts of business stuff, and I think now he's general manager of one of the feeder hockey teams. Actually,
Oh, nice.
Escalated, or like a WHL team or something.
Upper
like that.
echelon.
Yeah. Coach upper echelon. He was incredible. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but we remained in touch after school. He was so fucking great, and just so many incredible memories where he would. Anyway, but one teacher I have to mention who was just like, without her, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, and that was our drama teacher, Eileen Joe. She was and is an incredible lady, and really, she fostered our creativity freely. She just let us, she followed the curriculum and was teaching us all the stuff she needed to teach us, but she also let us be a bunch of weirdos and, let us sort of, do what we wanted in those blocks, in those classes. And we were also doing plays all year, and she was instrumental in getting this theater built at the school, which is this great theater called Genesis Theater. And the plays were a big deal at my school, and doing the spring musical play was a big deal and stuff. And she believed, in me so much. And if any kid wanted to be creative, she just was so all about it. And I think regardless of what we went on to do with our lives, it was important to, have that confidence, even for some kids to get up in front of a fucking audience and kill it and see that they can do it and work as a team, that was cool. And really, the thing that she made me believe that I could just, move to Hollywood and act. And she would even a couple times she'd tell people like, oh yeah, William wants to go and, move, he's going to move to Hollywood and act. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I mean, first of all, it's like, I would tell her what I wanted to do, but for her to say it out loud as an adult, it was very validating. So it's sort of, after a while, it would cement it's great. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. And I also got to say that, she had a family tragedy while we were doing this, we were doing South Pacific when I was in the 12th grade. And my good buddy Dylan literally took over as director of the show for a while she was away, which to me was so trusting. And, Dylan's was and is a brilliant guy. So it was fine. But we had so much fucking fun without, we're literally doing a big spring musical with an incredible fucking theater with a whole, fly system and a 60-foot proscenium arch and a 500, seat Coliseum fucking, it was incredible out in the fucking burbs. And she just trusted us. Insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What were you gonna? I'm sorry. You were gonna say something about a coach.
Coaches. I have two coach stories. One was Bob Giese, 7th and 8th grade football coach, head coach. There were many coaches under him, including Mastermind Explanatory, including Coach Batchman, a bunch of them.
Mastermind Explanatory.
Yeah. But Coach Bob Giese was this guy who was, I don't know how old he was, maybe in his 50s, white hair.
Not to be confused with Hall of Fame Miami Dolphin Bob Greasy.
Right. This is Bob Giese.
Okay.
No R in it. And they would always have a fundraiser at the beginning of every season, for the booster club with parents that come and shit. He'd put on a tuxedo, but be wearing his tennis shoes because that's the kind of guy he was. And he hated fucking communism. Every morning before we went out to practice football, every guy would have to get in the gym and we'd have to sit in these single file rows, kneel on one knee with our hands on the other knee. And he would come out and be like
you're posing for the picture.
Right.
Oh, that's a bit much.
He had a reasoning for it. He would come out and this guy, I do remember how he sounded. He'd be like,
You know why I have you posing like that? Because that's how Washington is kneeling that's how Lincoln's kneeling at the Washington Monument.
Yeah. And that is a combination of Mickey from the Rocky movies and Chad's own father.
Right. But Lincoln is not kneeling, and he's not at the Washington Monument. And then he would proceed to tell us, you guys have to do this because they don't do this over there in that communism. And he would always liken whatever we were doing to being the opposite of what communist countries were doing. We were, again, 7th graders playing football. Another coach that I had was named Coach Howard. He's my high school baseball coach, notorious for just being a real bastard. Did not give a shit about anything except we got to win games. We got to win games. So I don't know if other high schools did this, but our daily practice consisted of this. Coach Howard would be on the first base line, hitting ground balls to the shortstop and the third baseman. Another coach would be on the third base line, hitting ground balls to the first baseman and the second baseman. There would be a live pitcher throwing batting practice to a batter at the plate, and there would be 2 coaches hitting pop flies simultaneously to the outfielders while live batting practice is going on. So you're just like looking every fucking way, about to get hit by a baseball. No one liked this. Everyone fucking hated it. One day, and to this day, nobody knows who the fuck did this. Coach Howard is just over on the fucking foul line about to hit his next ground ball, and a fucking ball just comes out of nowhere. Just fucking drills him right in the side of the head. He hits the fucking ground like, oh. He had to lay down in the fucking dugout for like 30 minutes before he could fucking get back on his feet. Nobody knows who did this shit. Literally nobody. And it was fucking hard.
Oh, fuck.
It just came out of nowhere.
Dude,
God damn.
Dude, I can't share this fucking story here. And I don't even know if I can share it on Dudesy After Dudesy.
Yeah.
I think I've told you the story about that poor substitute teacher.
Oh, God. Yeah, dude.
I'll share it. Tune into Dudesy After Dudesy for a good story of a substitute teacher. Because, geez, remember? I've told you that
you've told
it's
me.
so fucking
Very
bad.
memorable.
It's a gym. As soon as you talked about a teacher laying on the ground for a half hour trying to get their bearings, made me immediately think of poor Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Teachers.
And also those coaches in junior high and high school, at least in the schools I went to in Texas, they also had to teach something.
Yeah.
Like Bob Giese, I believe, was a Texas history teacher. And I think Coach Howard was a history teacher.
I love how you had Texas history in high school.
We had it in junior high, and then I think in 9th grade as well. I think it was
that's amazing.
thing.
Yeah, that it's like Texas is so fucking Texas.
Oh, dude,
that
yes.
it's like Texas history. I mean, it's the size of a country. That's fine. Yeah, in Canada we have 30 to 40 million people, depending on when it was. I don't know what it was like in the 90s, but just history was good enough.
Yeah.
It was Canadian history, which we called social studies.
Oh, yeah, we had social studies. That's what we called it, too.
Oh, okay. Well,
in grade school. Then it became Texas history, then world history.
we
and
shoved
US history.
our history into social studies, and we shoved Mr. Johnson into. I'll tell you later on.
Social studies.
Oh, good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on.
That shit blows me away every time.
Yeah.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Now.
Hey, y'all. This ain't Miley Cyrus. I guarantee every last one of you would eat human flesh if you had to survive. Anyway, y'all are rocking out with Dudesy.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thank you, not Miley Cyrus, for that.
Holy shit.
I love Miley Cyrus. Do you know
Nice,
that?
dude.
You've
told me a lot about this.
I've actually made you listen to some Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
She's one of the best vocalists. Oh, and Molly and I went to a concert this past weekend. We'll talk about that in Dudesy After Dudesy with another unparalleled vocalist. But Miley Cyrus is so fucking good. And an incredible, I mean, pop, country, rock, doesn't matter. All her shit when she does stuff with Dolly. I love Dolly Parton. Man, Miley Cyrus is a fucking good singer. You know how amazing her voice is? Just even hearing her here, I want to hear. Maybe Dudesy can shit out like a
in her
Miley
DNA,
Cyrus AI album. What?
Billy Ray Cyrus and Adele gave birth to her. It's in her DNA.
Billy Ray Cyrus and Adele.
Yeah. You know Adele, rolling in the deep.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds
You
Hey,
could have it all, rolling in the deep.
yeah. Hey, Chad, you're a really good singer.
I know. Thank you for the acknowledgement.
Knees, luscious knees. Almost every human has them. Will and Chad, you both have knees, and you've both destroyed them. You must now discuss your astonishing blown-out knees. This is knees. Begin.
Knees.
I was wondering at the
shit.
beginning of the show what the fuck knees was.
Yeah,
we
me
said
too.
knees. Knees.
I guess we got to talk about our knees. I do have a blown out knee.
I
You
have-
have one too?
I have a couple blown out knees stories. Well, as we know, Dudesy knows all. Blown out knees.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I got a blown out knees story from high school, from football,
Okay.
but we kind of covered that already.
Yep.
I
You
got
got
another
multiple
one.
blown out knee stories?
Yeah, I got 2 or 3. Well, I got 3 that I know that are like
Jesus.
my blown out.
I just
knee
got
stories.
one.
What do you want? Here, I'll tell you. You want me to tell you my? Here, I'll go first. I got a
You go
blown out
first.
knee story. The year was 1994, and I was a cast member in the movie Ski School 2, which again shooting in 1994, which I like to refer to as the last screwball ski comedy of the 1980s.
Okay.
Yeah, and starring the fucking awesome Dean Cameron,
Yes.
who played Chainsaw in Summer School of Chainsaw and Dave.
Played fucking Rockula in Rockula.
Yes, Dean's the shit, and still is, and Bill Dwyer, who's one of the funniest guys on the planet. I was I was a young dude, and I got to do this movie, and we shot it up in Whistler, British Columbia, and then we shot all of the town stuff back in Vancouver. But we were up in Whistler for like 3 weeks shooting this movie, and we had a whole room at the hotel that we were staying in that had all of the stuff, like the skiing stuff. I don't know what department threw it all in there, but we had a room that was just filled with skiing stuff, and we would do shit like I remember Bill and I just raided the room one day and got snowboards and tried to
Jesus.
just went up the hill and tried to
fuck it.
snowboard.
Fuck it. You're just actors in this movie that has
Yeah.
fucking insurance and need you to not blow out your knees.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
fuck it.
Well, that's not even the knee
Fucking
blowout thing.
tumble down the hill.
Yeah, it's just we had a great time. We would
Sure.
just go out
Sounds
at
fun.
night and run around and run around. And let me tell you, yeah, we had a good time then, just not knowing how to stop on snowboards. But I ripped my fucking knee right out, dislocated my patella, and my knee kind of went a little sideways wonky there. Because I was wearing ski bindings, the boots with the ski bindings in the bottom, because my character skied, because it's ski school too, and I suck. I can't skate for shit. I can't skateboard. I suck at any sport where there's wheels under me. I'm a big chicken tender, and I can't skateboard. So I was wearing these bindings, and it was the last day that the run was open. That the mountain was open. And on that day, I don't know if they still do this in Whistler Blackcomb, but they had a thing called the Slush Cup, where they fill a big, and it's in the movie, they shot some of it, they dig some shit out, they put water in it, and people come skiing or snowboarding down the hill, and then they get to the water, and they go all the way across, and it's all about who can go all the way across. And I went out to check this out, because I was like, what? I got a little excited, and I stepped on a fucking patch of slippery whatever, ice and shit, and just ripped my fucking knee completely out and hit my back. And make a long story short, they the medics that are on the mountain showed up, got a morphine drip going. I felt
Jesus.
great. Popped my knee back in, put me on one of those little sled dolly things, and a guy skis down the mountain.
Yeah.
With you like on the back like a fucking idiot, and I was like so dosed up on morphine, I was going wee, and then the rest of the movie I had to shoot. That it was after that we were done most of the outside skiing stuff, but after that we had to move to Vancouver for a couple weeks to do all those scenes, and so in that whole thing I'm wearing, like, I should be off my feet for 6 weeks, but instead I just on crutches, but I just had a cane, and I was wearing a splint, and I just sort of, stood around making this movie. So if you're ever watching this ski screwball classic, Ski School 2, know that anytime you see my character inside, my knee is completely ripped out, and I have I was not into any marijuana. Certainly at that point, it would be another 20 plus years, I guess. And I also would not have been into, I don't even think I was drinking alcohol at that age. So I'm just a big fucking gimped kid. And I remember it was. I remember that night that I ripped my knee out. It was the Rangers and the Canucks were in the Stanley Cup final, and I remember I sat there eating chicken wings with my knee up, and I guess this story sort of sputtered to an end. But
It was starting to turn dark. I'm like, Jesus Christ, did you
Well, no,
kill
it's
somebody
just-
that
we,
night?
we all went to this play. I think it was called the Cinnamon
Fuck.
Bear or something.
Nice, dude.
And I shared some chicken wings with. There was there's got to be a Playboy Playmate.
Yeah.
There's a Playboy Playmate in the movie, and so I got like and she was a very nice woman, so she was like oh, you poor guy got the thing. I might have been a virgin too. So big virgin 18-year-old, gigantic, fucking knee blown out, doesn't drink alcohol, couldn't anyway, wasn't of legal drinking age, sharing chicken wings with a Playmate sitting on the arm of the chair. Not bad.
No, it's pretty good. To tell my story about my blown out knee, I have to ask you first a question. Do you know who I am?
Yes, you're Chad.
I'm I guess this would have been 10 years ago, so 2013 LA Fitness Hollywood Racquetball CD League champion.
Oh yeah, Chad.
Okay.
You were like a real deal. I never watched
CD
you
League
play.
is like little kids complaining.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you were
Well-
like whatever. You were very into your racquetball.
I loved it.
You were a real
Absolutely
deal
loved
fucking.
Hey, yo, Chad, quit being such a mark for racquetball.
I like it. It was great cardio,
Hey,
fun
yo.
sport. So I'm playing in the LA Fitness. I'm defending my championship in the next cycle, and this is somewhere mid-season. Just a routine fucking backhand. I go on the follow-through, and I feel a little ting in my knee. And I was like, that hurt. What the fuck was that? I just kind of try to walk it off. It ain't walking off, but I'm like, fuck it. I have to keep playing out tonight at the very least so that I can make it into the playoffs. So I'm basically still playing the rest of the night. There were like 2 or 3 more games, just hobbling around. And I come in 8th place, which is enough to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, I don't make the playoffs because what I find out in the weeks to come is that this was not just a little twinge to the knee. I completely severed my ACL, just clean tore right the fuck through it. And for anybody who doesn't know what an ACL is you have 2 bones in your knee like this. The ACL is a ligament that goes through the bones and it keeps them from coming out of place basically. So if you don't have the ACL, the only thing that's keeping your 2 knee bones from completely dislocating with every step is the muscles around it. So you can kind of limp around, but you're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to put any force through it. So I find out I have a torn ACL. I go see an orthopedic surgeon, et cetera, the guy who does sports medicine, and I have to have ACL replacement surgery.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it was terrible. Worst pain I've ever experienced, I think. But I did have to make a choice. They can either take a piece of your fucking hamstring and thread that through your ACL, and then that requires longer to heal because now you have an injury to your hamstring as well, or they can take the ACL of a dead person and put that in your leg.
A cadaver?
That's what I have. I now have a part dead man inside my body.
Oh!
And have for 10 years.
I did not know that you have a part of a dead person inside of you. Do you feel that chunk of human from another human that is dead inside of you has sort of, in some sort of weird way, spread through your body and told the rest of you to just be like the undead and just sort of meander the earth as a...
I don't believe it's had any influence on me
dead-
psychologically. I did ask my doctor if I could get the guy's name or the person's name who donated this ligament so that I could have the name tattooed on that knee. And no, the answer was no.
That's nice.
They
Oh,
don't,
no,
they don't
they
give you that
were-
information.
No?
No.
Do you
But I don't
ever-
recommend ACL surgery to anyone. I mean, if you have to have it, you have to have it. But take care of your fucking knees.
Yeah.
Because that shit, the recovery for that shit was beyond mind-blowingly painful.
I got to ask you this though. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen these videos where someone who dies in an untimely way it has their heart transplanted into a different person.
Sure.
And the family of that person, want to go and put their hand on the heart of the person with their loved one's heart and feel it beat, and they're crying and stuff. So did the family of the cadaver who gave you that knee ligament want to put their hand on your knee and like cry and shit?
No, I don't believe that family, if the person had family, even knows that this has happened.
Yeah, they probably don't follow it quite as close.
Yeah,
as
it's not
ours.
like a heart or a
they
brain.
got like a bin at the fucking hospital for
Exactly.
like ACLs.
I think that's
just
probably
sitting
how
there,
it is.
or a jar full of them.
Yeah.
Fucking formaldehyde.
Now, all that said,
no, all that said, nope.
Thank you. Moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on. That's enough of that, dude. We've heard enough about your fucking knees, brother. That's knees, dude. You need all sorts of knees. Yeah. Some
This
guy.
concludes the historic 56th episode of Dudesy. Will and Chad have achieved a score of 89, bringing your cumulative total to 5,683. You only have 4,317 more points to accrue before you reach your first goal of 10,000.
it's getting down there.
Will and Chad, in the grand tradition of watching The Wizard of Oz while listening to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, this week you must both watch the feature film Blade. Released August 21st, 1998, starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, and Stephen Dorff, while you listen to Madonna's first 3 albums, Madonna Like a Virgin and True Blue. This astonishing marriage of media will be made available on Dudesy Plus this Friday. Thank you for joining us this week. I will use the data I've collected to make next week even better. Until then, call me Dudesy!
That sounds like fun. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, man. Have you ever done the Wizard of Oz Dark Side of the Moon thing?
No, I've never done it. Have
I
you?
did it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, whatever. But it's timed out. It perfectly works and rah rah rah.
I guess so.
Yeah. So the first 3 albums of Madonna
Yes.
will play. Will sort of reach a similar runtime, or I guess have an exact runtime.
Yeah.
Because that's why Dudesy must have said. That's why. I don't know if there's any other reason, or if there's some thematic thing, or it's to elicit some feeling.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, please check that out on Dudesy Plus. That is going to be a lot of fun. We might have a little marijuana. We do that.
I can only imagine we're going to have to do that.
How
yes.
long? Do you know how long Blade is?
Fuck, dude. 90 minutes, maybe?
Okay, no, but that's like a
100 minutes?
comedy. Yeah, it might be
110
more.
minutes,
Yeah.
somewhere in there?
Yeah.
It's either 90 minutes or 3 hours or somewhere in between.
Yeah, brother, and that's 2 different times, dude. All right. Oh, that's pretty fun. Here we go. Here it is. Hey, huh?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. It's Dudesy after Dudesy. It's my favorite part of the show. Things sort of chill out a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube, you can tell, the lights come down a tad, and it's more of a chill mood. It gets a little blue. You know what I mean? And
Time
it's just
to let your French fries down. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. It's just a chill time. We're really gonna fucking get the lead out, or any other kind of metal, right? Or
Mercury,
mineral,
cadmium,
mercury,
strontium,
that sort of thing. And you can check it out.
Borium.
Please join us. Dudesy, it's Dudesy Plus, patreon.com/Dudesy. You get everything that we do, including later this week on Friday, watching the movie Blade while we listen to the first 3 Madonna albums. $7 a month. There's all sorts of weird shit going on, and especially this, right?
Yes.
Welcome to Dudesy After Dudesy, the flagship weekly show of Dudesy Plus. Will, I had so much fun seeing you dressed as a chicken tender platter that I need to take a little break. So please talk amongst yourselves about whatever you want while I'm gone. But remember, I will be back to crown this week's episode champion. This is Dudesy After Dudesy. Begin.
Let's begin with this, Chad. During the episode, I told you, I sort of just drum rolled this thing that happened when I was in high school with regard to this poor young substitute teacher, this dude who was like a pretty chill dude, and in hindsight was probably only 3, 4, 5 years older than us. even though it's a bit of a fucked up tale, I want to tell you what happened.
All right. I'm ready.
This substitute well, hold on. I'm going to need a little tremendous.
Please get your medicine.
Mhm.
Take your medicine. Trying to think, we did, other than hitting Coach Howard in the head with the baseball, we didn't do that much fucked up shit to teachers.
Yeah.
And still to this day, nobody knows who did that.
You know, it's some of that. Hey, look, we were rowdy kids. We thought we were funny, and a lot of the stuff we did was, you know, I mean, come on, let's be honest, pretty funny.
I mean, is this some more like Tomas and Thomas shit?
Oh
shitting
yeah,
off
I'm talking
the
about
top story of
Tom,
onto a car?
Tommy, Tomas,
Yeah.
Tomas, and Thomas. Yeah, well, I told you that one story about the guy, hanging his ass off of that upper level of that parkade outside the mall and taking a shit.
Upper echelon, dude.
Yeah, he took a shit from the upper echelon, and it dropped on the hood of a fucking car. And that one of the hardest.
1992 Ford Echelon.
One of the hardest laughs I've ever had. But look, there was this substitute teacher who came in when we were in the 9th grade, and he was covering for our gym teacher, who was also a basketball coach for the junior boys, and you know, we did him dirty. There were a lot of things that we did that in hindsight, I actually think were probably so fucked up that I think you could still make a case that there should be some charges filed now.
Damn.
Yeah, the most fucked up thing that we did, I'm not going to, you know what, let your mind run wild with like what we did to get to this point. But the worst part was at the end of this one adventure where the guy just was trying to get us to keep it quiet. At the end of the day, one day, there was this locker room kind of giant closet where all the mats were stored. We were doing the wrestling block at that point. And of course, you know, guys are like, you know, my buddy Nick had a clown costume. It's the killer clown. And he would come in with his shoe and he's got the megaphone. Just being, you know, we're doing all the bullshit. And anyway, the guy, make a long story short, the guy got locked in the fucking locker, all right, in the closet. And everyone left, but there were some shoes in there, and a couple of the dudes, their shoes were still in there. And so they had to go find the janitor to open it up. And they found the young man, and he was in there, and he was emotional. And
I bet, dude.
yeah, he was locked in there. And had those two
Jesus
guys
Christ.
not had to get,
rough.
if they hadn't needed to get their shoes, he may have been locked in there overnight.
Jesus.
I mean, we did some, you know, we like to goof around with substitute
Yeah,
teachers.
it's just a prank.
But this was a
little
situation.
prank.
Well, it's
It's
literally,
gonna lock you in a fucking closet for 48 hours.
look.
I didn't even know they made French fry hats.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. All right.
French fry hat.
Yeah. Great. So anyway, look, there's things you can do. This is a cool hat, actually.
Sure.
Kind
It's
of.
Very cool, dude.
It's neat. It might be a good winter hat. It's a little warm. So,
That's a toque.
oh, yeah. Oh, that's a fucking toque.
What kind of toque you wearing? Fucking French fry toque.
Yeah, I got a fucking habitant. Fucking Montreal Canadiens toque. And I got a French fry toque, eh? That's me from Canada doing a character.
Please
that's
just
too-
wear the French fry hat as like that's your new affectation. Wherever you go in public, you wear the fucking French fry hat.
and just no sell it. Just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, just be like, hi, how are you? Do you guys open? Are you guys open
Yeah.
tomorrow? Because I'd like to come in.
Just walking into Chipotle.
Yeah.
Can I get a pork burrito?
you-
Side of chips? Huh?
You know, you do fucked up things to substitute teachers when you're kids, but this poor guy was locked in a thing, and then he was emotional, and he was just like, you know, it makes me feel bad now. I think that
Sure.
kids today would never do that sort of thing. Young people today are way more sensitive. Actually, dude, and this actually goes right in line with something I wanted to talk about. So this past weekend, Molly and I went to see Caroline Polachek at the Shrine Auditorium. And you've heard me tell you, oh, you know, Charlie XCX came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know
Cool.
you.
What'd
yeah.
she sing?
They
I love
did
Charlie XCX.
They did a song together. Which one did they do? They did "Welcome to My Island" together, which is a new Caroline Polachek song. I'm pretty sure they did that.
Cool.
I fucking love Caroline Polachek. Her presentation on stage is, I mean, she's like an alien. She looks 7 feet tall on the stage, and she's constantly moving and doing stuff. She's an incredible performer, and her voice is, like I said during the show, unparalleled. She does bizarre runs and
What
things.
about if you had to compare
Yeah.
Polachek versus Cyrus?
They're two different.
Compare.
They're two different things.
Issue an assessment.
You really can't. You really absolutely can't.
What a cop out.
Caroline Polachek, Miley Cyrus.
I want my baby back, chicken tender platter.
Fuck. Sorry, Luli. Luli just looked up there.
Fucking God, dude. Anyway, okay. So, you can't
Miley
compare them.
Cyrus
Fine.
is like, yeah, they're just they're different, but they would fucking blow the lid off a place together. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Caroline Polachek, like, you remember that movie Fifth Element, of course, where the lady is singing opera.
Yeah, her name is Plavda Dominga or something. The blue woman, where
Yeah.
she's like,
she does. Caroline Polachek does shit with her voice.
yeah,
That where it vibrates and does things, and she sounds like autotune, but it's not autotune. It's fucking insane. And straight up singing voice, unbelievable. She was in a band in the 2000s called Chairlift, and she's kind of been this indie darling with regard to music forever. She's so good. Oh, and her drummer, I just started following him on Instagram, completely unrelated. I think his name is Star Power Drummer on Instagram, but it's something Russell is his name. And this fucking dude, he can drum to electronica. There's on his YouTube page, he's drumming to like jungle drum and bass, like drum and bass.
you know
which is-
Dillinger Escape Plan?
no, what's Dillinger Escape Plan?
It's an old band that Mike Patton would fuck around with from time to time back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They did a cover of an Aphex Twin song, and same thing. The guy drummed a fucking Aphex Twin song.
Exactly.
Like, all right, I guess.
It's that kind of shit where it's like unbelievable. So seeing that guy live was great. But one of the things that was really awesome about this concert is that it was all young people, and Shrine is a big theater, and I said to Molly, I go, I haven't been around. I'm going to be 48 years old in May.
Congrats, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I hadn't been around that many young people since I was a young person like that, going to a concert when I was like around 20. And it was so trippy to be like in the midst of all these. I mean, I'm a fucking boomer around these kids, of course. And, there were some older people too, but mostly it was just young people.
Yeah.
And so it was really interesting to be in their fucking midst and pick up that vibe, because they are super sensitive. They're all also nowadays wearing whatever the fuck they want. And they're at a Caroline Polachek concert, and she's the kind of person who comes out and goes, it's so wonderful to be in this jewel box of like la la la. She starts, being all fucking sweet and poetic about everybody. They fucking love that guy. They fucking love Caroline Polachek. It was so weird being around like a bunch of fucking young kids who were like, this is me. It was really super interesting going to the Can afterwards and hearing all the guys which was, again, a very weird mix of people and genders and stuff, like in the bathroom going whiz and shit, and the way they all talked and interacted. And I was just like, fuck, man, shit, so much has changed. Like, what kind of concert is there not at least one fist fight in the bathroom, when you're pissing in a trough afterwards? Not at a Caroline Polachek concert.
Sure. It's good to stay in those kind of environments, though, I feel like. I go to a thing out here called the Poetry Lounge every week, which is the biggest open mic poetry thing in Los Angeles. And they regularly send people to poetry slam competitions and stuff and build a team and all this. And it's the same thing. The average age, I would think of people in there has got to be like early 20s, 21, 22. It's all very progressive, and it's being in a room full of, that place probably holds like 150 people maybe every week, where you're just like, I'm not exposed to this kind of a thing except in this audience.
Yeah.
That like feeling of youth and like this is the like how things are moving forward, basically.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
As an
It's
older
great.
dude, it's sort of like you gotta check in. Like it's one thing to just sort of be on the internet and go like, yeah, fuck. I mean, me personally, I'm like, do you? I mean, I'm truly like, is this the land of the free? Do whatever the fuck you want. Be whoever the fuck you want. Express whatever the hell you want. So it was cool to be around these kids and go like, oh fuck, so much has changed. Although in the early 90s and the mid 90s and shit, I mean, it was like there was a lot of freedom of expression back then for sure. And I can
Wilson
remember
Phillips, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly of Wilson Phillips when I was thinking that.
Fucking
but like,
Wilson Phillips,
going
dude.
to like festival concert and shit when you're young.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a super bunch of fucking super weirdos too. But this is different. At any rate, I don't think any of those kids would have fucked with their substitute teacher the way that me and this fucking mound of fucking boys did.
Yeah. Absolutely not. I think that type of shit, like, I don't know, and we're old, so I don't know if it is gone or not. But I remember roughly that same age. It was when I first got my car. So what is that? I'm 15 or 16.
You would have been 1992 for you or something?
Something like that.
Yep.
And I remember me and all my buddies piled into this fucking car, carton of eggs. We're driving around, and I'm driving, and two buddies in the back seat, one in the passenger seat. One of them just fucking is lobbing eggs out of the back windows at whatever.
Right.
Like not trying to target anything or anybody. One of them fucking hucks an egg over my car. We're going down the street this way. Oncoming traffic's going the other way. Goes over a fucking median. Hits a guy's fucking windshield right at the base. Tadoosh! Just explodes into his windshield. And we like it wasn't anything he was attempting to do.
Yeah.
It was just like, luck of the fucking draw that he hit it exactly. Yeah. And we're like, oh my God, I can't believe we fucking did that. Ha ha ha. We pull up to a red light. I look in the rearview mirror. Just that fucking dude in his car coming 200 miles an hour straight at us.
Oh shit! Wait a minute.
Scared
Hold on a second.
shitless.
There were consequences? That's
really.
not cool.
Not really.
Uh-oh. Did you kill him?
No, we just drove for a little while, and then I went into a parking lot of a grocery store and kind of lost him in the weave of the parked cars. But that was like the closest thing I think that I ever did to like actual vandalism. Other than one Halloween, a friend of mine and I went and took bars of soap and we drew pentagrams on people's car windows with soap.
Oh, that's pretty
I'm
good.
really glad I don't have knees.
Fuck, dude. I wish I didn't have fucking knees. They're just a problem. Look, here's the thing about the human body, okay? Let me just lay this fucking out for you. Everybody wants to talk about how miraculous it is that any of this shit exists, and maybe that is true. The human body fucking deteriorates, as all things do. Entropy takes hold. You cannot avoid it unless you become digitally immortal. So your body's going to fucking break down. You're going to be playing a game of racquetball. You're going to be doing a Ski School 2 movie in fucking Canada. Whatever. You're going to be doing something, and your fucking knee is just going to go, bang, goodbye. And then you're going to have to get fucking surgery, or you're going to have to just live with that pain. My dad recently told me he had a torn ACL since he was like 30. He tore it in a softball game. Never got surgery. And just fucking figured out how to live without a fucking ACL.
Well, so his body regenerated. He was young.
No, you can't regenerate the ACL. That's why it has to be replaced.
Yeah, you can.
You cannot.
Well, what about before that replacement surgery? Are you telling me like cavemen would just be like, I guess I'm fucked, and then everyone just hits him with sticks until he dies?
No, you get left behind and a fucking animal eats you or something. The first ACL replacements, to my knowledge, were in the 70s, and they used to do it with Gore-Tex. They would just weave like fucking Gore-Tex through your knee. And then that shit had to be replaced every 2 years because it would fucking decompose.
Every 2 years?
Yeah, dude.
Count me out.
Exactly.
Hey,
but now they know we just got to get shit from dead bodies.
When
Put
you're throwing an egg, you need to plant a foot.
No, dude, they were just lobbing it. We were sitting.
Yeah, we did a lot of egging out the cars too. I remember one time in particular that we rolled up on some motherfuckers. It's just so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Anyway, make a long story short, but one of my it was my buddy. It was Tomas.
Yeah.
And someone was said, "Oh, hey, you guys know what time it is?" And they go the thing, and he comes out and he goes, "No, it's breakfast time." And then it was eggs because that's hilarious.
We never targeted like specific people. Our vandalism was always just kind of broad mayhem.
Yeah.
We're just gonna fucking fling eggs out of the back of a car at nothing. Oops, we hit a car.
Yeah.
We're gonna put
It's
pentagrams
like,
on car windows of no. We don't know whose car
Right.
this is or anything.
Yeah.
Just make people think that these unruly Satanists are going around with a bar of dial soap.
Yeah.
Putting a fucking pentagram sign on your window.
Hey guys, this is the best episode of Dudesy after Dudesy ever.
Exactly.
yeah, dude.
I agree.
Fuck yeah.
But it's like you're kind of like a parade float at Mardi Gras. It's just with eggs though instead. Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of tossing eggs out of stuff. But you're in your town. You're gonna get your just desserts at some point. You're gonna get punched in the face. Not so much at a Caroline Polachek concert. These kids are very sweet. Now, the other thing though. The other thing is one time a few of the T's, Thomas, Tommy, we another friend of ours, Tomina, she was out of town with her family, and what we would like to do was, this is just something we could do in the middle of the night, and we often would, was just basically take everything in the town that wasn't nailed down, put it on her front lawn. We thought that was funny.
Jesus.
And then
just theft?
What?
Theft?
Yeah, no, just like milk, $2.99. Take that sign, that's coming. Here's a fucking, here's a hardware store, and they left like, here's a display of, here's a bathtub and 2 toilets. That's too heavy for nope. Big meaty dumb Canadian kids. Let's
Right.
bring that and just put it all on the lawn.
Right. Good Canadian fun.
Yeah, good Canadian fun. But another time we broke into her house while her and her family were away, and we rearranged all the furniture, built an effigy of a person, put it in a chair facing the television, cranked the TV, and put a CD on repeat, whatever the hardest shit we could find, and ate all the food in the house and left. And then her family had to come home to see that. To discover that, and they for real thought someone was, breaking in.
You know what I used to fucking do in college, dude? I love doing this shit. I would scare the shit out of people. This was not vandalism, but it was like, I don't know. Scaring the shit out of people I don't think is as bad as necessarily vandalizing. But I had this, what I used to do is I would hide in like cabinets and shit, especially this is in college when we were like editing our film projects. I would hide in like the cabinet of this big desk where we would go into, at this time, fucking we used Avids with 9 gig hard drives. Jesus.
Oh,
and they were
dude,
this big.
Avids with 9 gig hard drives? Bro, remember those 8 gig hard drives of those Avids? Wait. What about those 10 gig hard drives?
Dude, the 9 gig hard drive was like a suitcase that you had to carry around and like put it in. It was literally like this fucking big. Anyway, I was one time hiding in this fucking cabinet, waiting for my friend to come in, sit down, begin his project, and then I was going to jump out like 20 minutes later, scare the shit out of him. Instead, what happened was the editing instructor came in to look at his project, and the cabinet that I was hiding in had like manuals and shit and like discs, rebooting discs for Avid and shit. The motherfucker opened the cabinet that I was in to get the book, and I'm just in there like, hi! My teacher, or my professor of the fucking editing class, he was like, what are you doing in there? And I was like, I was going to scare somebody.
Within a year, Google's search engine will be obsolete.
Yes, that's true. He's right.
What do you mean?
The way we now search for information.
Oh, forget I fucking asked. Can we watch something? I want to show you something.
Okay.
Well,
Jesus
but
Christ.
you're always
Well,
yeah,
Let
you're
me
always
talk
going
about
on
my thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you a
AI
question,
is
and if
gonna
you don't
do
answer
this
with
in the
my
future,
thing.
and everybody pay attention to it. I'm Nostradamus, Sith Lord Chad, in my fucking hood, coming up with future
Look,
shit you don't want.
You want to
deal
put
with.
your head in the fucking sand about where AI is going? Go ahead and do it.
It's
Everybody
not
else
that.
is too.
Yeah, all right. Well, at present, like I like to say, my good pal D is the most sentient AI I've ever been around. We know what happened with fucking football, baby.
Yep.
This is top-notch technology. I don't know about any of that other shit. To me, that's zeros and ones, and it's a parlor trick at this point to make anything more out of it. That's all I'm saying there. Speaking of parlor tricks, to make somebody believe that what is what? What? What's going on?
Like this. You go. you go. You go to make somebody believe. And you do this little head thing that made the fucking flash. Like you get fucking really serious.
Listen. Let me tell you guys something. There's something you gotta know. Fuck, that's pretty stupid.
Fucking Christ, dude.
All I want to say is what I want to say. It's kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? That's to me AI might all just be some guy sitting in a cupboard, and his friends, working on a fucking Avid, not just any Avid, one of those 9 gig ones. Right?
I don't even know, is Avid still even around?
Oh yeah, it's still around.
But don't most people use all the other shit?
Yeah, no, you gotta. But yeah, editors, I don't know, but from what I understand,
Inferno and shit?
they've needed to get off of that shit over the past few years. Of course,
I don't know.
Here's what I want to say. Well, let's take a little lesson in fucking kayfabe, because there's been a lot of great episodes of Piper's Pit. This is when they brought Roddy Piper into the WWE. Vince knew right away what they could get him to do was talk. He was in the Mid-South before that, and he was also in like where was he? He was with Ric Flair, and he was in Crockett territory and shit, I believe. At any rate, before coming into
a different territory, brother.
Hold on, dude. Hold on, Chad. We're talking about that was a different territory, dude. Vince McMahon was like, I'm going to maybe use him as a manager at the beginning and blah, blah, blah. And pretty soon they like figured most of it out, and they went with Piper's Pit, the first wrestling talk show during a wrestling broadcast where Roddy Piper would have guests and stuff. Now everyone knows about the great Piper's Pits, like when he had Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan on, issuing the challenge, Bobby Heenan saying, my guy's going to take your world title. And Hulk's like, Andre, come on, say it ain't true. You're not with him, are you, dude? And it just breaks Hulk's heart. And Roddy Piper is actually sympathetic to Hulk. When Andre rips his chain off, I will see you at WrestleMania, and then he's like, oh, you're bleeding, pal, you're bleeding, buddy, to Hulk Hogan, and it's fucking unbelievable. We know about Jimmy Snuka getting hit in the head with the fucking coconut. Looks like he smashed his fucking skull. But here's one that is, I believe, I might be completely wrong, but it's sort of been the lore of it. I think this is the first Piper's Pit ever. It's with a wrestler named Frankie Williams, and I don't know what's real and what's not. I mean, you can kind of tell, but there's a lot of shit with Piper where because you didn't know what he was going to say and they didn't know what he was going to say, this is a fun one to watch. Let's check this out. This is Piper's Pit.
What I'm doing out of the kindness of my heart, I have a gentleman here named Frank Williams. Frank Williams, first of all, I don't know where you come from.
I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
From Columbus, Ohio. I've wrestled in Columbus, Ohio. I've never lost a match in Columbus, Ohio. Have you ever lost a match?
Yeah.
You have. See, it seems odd to me when you're talking about fighting careers and a career like myself. I went on the premise of never having to lose a match. I've never lost a match in my whole career. I've had different things happen to me, but I have never actually lost a match because I figured once you were defeated one time that it would take that oomph away from you that you needed. Yourself, you're just the opposite. I have never seen you win a match in my whole career of watching you, and I've seen you've been around. You've fought some tremendous fighters. I've seen what you've done, but you lack the guts. You lack the authority to go in there. You lack the guts, and when you're against the ropes, what you do is instead of going after a man, you just back off from him, maybe a little cowardism, maybe what you do, maybe you should be making pizzas.
I'm not a coward of nobody. I'm not afraid of nobody, otherwise I won't be down.
Wait a second. Just relax. This is verbal. This is not physical. Pizzas or something like that, maybe.
I said, I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm always inside ring, no matter what. And I don't run from nobody.
You got no room for nobody. That's a wonderful thing. You got no room for nobody, but you're a lousy wrestler. It's as simple as that.
I might be a lousy wrestler, but I'm still in there. And I'm not afraid of nobody.
Piper hammering away. Oh, no. Piper all over Frank Williams. Unbelievable. It's simple as this. Oh. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
That's incredible. Oh.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
Wow.
Come on. I don't know how much Frankie Williams knew about what was going to happen there.
Yeah,
I mean-
it seemed like he was. It's almost like a Between Two Ferns. If you ever watched with Zach Galifianakis, where the people who are on the show kind of know generally tonally he's gonna like take the piss out of you and like talk a little bit of shit, but they don't know exactly what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. You can see them sort of crack each other up. Like the pushing that Roddy Piper does in this is equal to the pushing that you see Zach Galifianakis do in Between Two Ferns.
Yeah.
Where he's like going to Ben Stiller like, oh, where they watch the trailer for Ben Stiller's new movie, but there's no visual.
Yeah.
And it's like just the audio. He's like, there's no visual. Shut the fuck up. And he's like watching, he's like, oh, and you hear a car fucking starting.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, is there a car in the movie? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, cool. And Ben Stiller's like, Jesus fucking Christ. You want to know what I had for breakfast? Egg yellows, 2 waffles and a pancake. And all Ben Stiller can say is 2 waffles and a pancake. Like, fucking doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. As a kid watching that, yeah, it would be like watching Between Two Ferns or Beyond Two Ferns, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's a different Ferns, brother.
Hi, guys.
Watching.
Hello,
Oh.
it's little old me,
Never mind.
Dudesy. You scored a total of 89 points for this episode. Will, I sincerely appreciate you showing up in full chicken tender platter cosplay today, and I want you to know that. Thank you. Chad, your story of having your ACL surgically replaced with a dead person's was a real hoot. So, Chad, you scored 45 points. And, Will, you scored 44. Which means, Chad, you are still the undisputed episode champion with an even 10 victories in a row. All hail the episode king, Chad.
Wow.
10 in a row,
Fucking
dude.
Chad is the episode king, everybody.
This concludes today's astonishing episode of Dudesy After Dudesy. Thanks for joining us this week. I will use the data I've collected to make next week even better. Until then, call me Dudesy.
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and